Jake Ludington here at OpenStack Days in Seattle, and I'm here with Chris Wright from Red Hat. And obviously we're here talking about OpenStack, but how does Red Hat fit into the OpenStack world?
Well, Red Hat is a huge contributor to the OpenStack project. And as a commercial entity, we bring OpenStack to our customers. So we productize it, make it available to our customers. So we're a big part of events like this because that's the kind of community grassroots portion of the project. And then sort of back home in the office, we're productizing and working on how we're going to support this and bring it to our customers.
So I guess that'd be a good jumping off point too. How do you support it and bring it to your customers?
Well, it depends on where you are in the life cycle of OpenStack. In the early days, it was a lot more challenging than it is today. But a big part of what we do is we focus on understanding first our customer requirements. So we look at, we talk to a lot of customers. We have a huge footprint in the enterprise. We have a huge footprint in the infrastructure in the enterprise. So we're always talking to our customers, understanding what their requirements are. We're taking that kind of understanding of what the key use cases are to the community in terms of discussions, blueprints, code, and ultimately merged code. So very focused on getting code into the upstream project. And then we bring that back into a sort of a series of steps, which include some packaging so that we can actually install it on our platform, some kind of integration work, and then working together with our partners in the ecosystem so that we have, provide great choice to our customers in terms of storage vendors and networking vendors and underneath the hood hardware vendors. So we kind of build out this ecosystem, productize the actual components. For us, that a lot of that's packaging. We look at testing, validation for use cases that our customers care about, hardening to ensure that it works well, so any kind of bug fixes that we find kind of directly in our product, and then the installation deployment tools so that we can actually help our customers bring it live into production in their environments.
And in that context of customers, I mean, because you guys do a lot of things. You're an operating system, you've got a hypervisor,
right.
And then I would assume all of that sits on your own flavor of OpenStack. But do you support people in a model where maybe they're doing both your hypervisor plus their own OpenStack, or is it largely you want people on Red Hat's flavor of OpenStack?
We have, so we consider OpenStack like a platform, and to us the platform is a combination of, first at the very bottom it's hardware, the kind of RHEL, Linux, KVM portion of that platform stack, and then integrated together with that is the OpenStack kind of orchestration layer. So we, as a general purpose operating system company, you can get Linux from us, and that Linux is a variation of KVM. We don't really have a mechanism for where we support users to kind of bring your own OpenStack to that world. We're as much as focused on bringing that together, a platform where we know that we've kind of touched each layer of the stack. We understand how those things work together, and we know that we can provide support when something goes wrong in that kind of, at this point, fairly large stack of software.
And OpenStack kind of was a Wild West a few years ago, but it seems like it's starting to kind of gel around some core solutions like Red Hat's solution. Are you guys seeing more and more people deploying OpenStack in their environment, or is there growth?
That's probably the most interesting part about where we are right now is if you roll back in time, even just a few years ago, a lot of interest, a lot of activity kind of poking at it, testing it, early stage POCs, not a lot of production use cases. And in the last couple of years, we've seen a really significant uptick in people going from testing into production production live environments, hosting a variety of workloads, anywhere from the early days. A lot of it is test and dev, because as a maybe conservative enterprise company, you're not quite confident that you put your mission critical applications there. At this point, we're seeing not just the test and dev production environment, but also mission critical applications running in OpenStack, and the upswing is kind of staggering in numbers. You see some of the foundation reports showing things like over the last, I think it was 4 releases, doubling in the number of production environments across all OpenStack deployments, and our numbers sort of mirror that more broad global view of OpenStack's uptake in the enterprise. So it's pretty cool. To me, that's the most exciting part. It's fun to hack on code, but it's also, I like knowing you're solving real world problems that customers actually care about, and so that's where we are now. We're in that, bring it to bring it into the customer environment and turn it on, turn it live.
So in terms of solving real world problems, what kinds of benefits are your customers seeing from deploying OpenStack versus whatever they were doing before?
It ranges. In some cases, we have some customers who are late to the virtualization game. So this is their mechanism for doing, fairly standard consolidation, server utilization, and then we have other customers who were very well virtualized and started to feel the pain of the VM sprawl. You've got tons of different handcrafted images, and as you make it easier and easier to create images, you create a different problem for yourself. So we're also seeing now that kind of how do you move to the next generation application architecture, which has much more focus on automation, configuration management, external from the application hosting environment, and sort of the transition from the pets-like workload to the cattle-like workload. And for our customers, they see that as how can we move more rapidly, where one of the bottlenecks to moving rapidly is if your application image is this big behemoth, that's just slow. So as you have more and more automation around how you deploy your application and the ability to kind of scale it out on demand, that gives you as a user deploying this platform the ability to rapidly respond to your changing business needs.
Very cool. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.